of my series, Sheet Pan Dinners. And today I'm going to make for you a salmon feast with potatoes and fresh string beans. The best part of these sheet pan dinners is they are so easy to make, really. I call it effortless cooking. That's right, effortless cooking. So if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you. I'll put the link to episode 1 and 2 down below in case you haven't seen it. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe and the little bell. I'd love to have you. But right now we're going to get started because everybody's hungry. So let me just tell you a couple of facts about salmon. And I didn't really know this because honestly, I'm making this salmon for my husband and my son and you guys because I am not a fish eater. Sorry, don't hate on me. I just don't like fish. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to smell it. The only fish I'll eat shrimp cocktail with cocktail sauce, and I will eat fried shrimp if I can dip that in the cocktail sauce. And I will eat tuna sandwiches if it's white albacore tuna. I can't eat dark tuna. But that's about it for me with fish. And my poor husband, he has to suffer a little bit because he loves fish. And he loves salmon. And so does my son. So I'm making that for them today. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but there's 2 kinds of salmon. And I found out about this because my hubby doesn't want me to buy any farm-raised salmon. And I said, why? And he only wants, like, I guess the freshwater salmon. I guess that's what they call it. So I said to him, what's the difference? So being inquisitive, as I am, I looked it up. And the farm fresh salmon, that's raised in tanks of some sort. Or, freshwater tanks. And they're fed certain kind of foods, and they're also fed antibiotics and additives. And obviously, the freshwater salmon, they're in their natural habitat, and they're caught in nets or whatever, and they just eat whatever they find in their natural habitat. So therefore, they don't have any antibiotics, they don't have any additives, and they're not fed any special foods. So actually, the farm fresh salmon are about 75% of what you eat today. So the odds are, if you go into a store, most of the salmon, you'll see it says on it, farm-raised salmon. And my husband always tells me, if you're going to be buying me salmon, don't buy me any farm-raised salmon. I don't want it. I only want the fresh one. I'm like, okay. So, unfortunately, I went to a few of the supermarkets and they only had the farm-raised. I guess that could be why it accounts for 75% of the salmon you eat. But I went to Trader Joe's, and in their fresh meat section, they had the farm-raised salmon. So I said, well, I guess they don't have it here, and I gave up. But then, over in the frozen food department, they had the wild fresh salmon. And so I bought 2 beautiful pieces of that. And it comes frozen. I hope you can see it. And I defrosted it. These are nice pieces too. Also, I believe the fresh salmon is a little bit more expensive than the farm raised. A lot of people think it has a better taste and a better texture, but it's really a matter of preference, I guess. But I wish I did like salmon because all salmon is supposed to be good for your heart, for your brain health, and from what I read, I think they even said eyes in children. So that's good. Unfortunately, I just don't like it. I can't help it. Everybody's taste buds are different. The one I bought in Trader Joe's said on it wild salmon. And it says wild silver, I don't know what this is, it's COHO. Wild silver salmon portions, deboned and skinless. So that's what I bought. I bought 2 packages of those. So I just thought I'd give you a little background on salmon. I only learned this because my husband, like I said, always says to me, don't buy the farm raised. So like I say, it's certainly up to you. And did you know that salmon is the most popular fish eaten today? Probably because it has lots of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for you. So now that you know a little background on salmon, we're going to get started. So I have my cutting board here, and I have a package of the little baby potatoes. They happen to have said on them, it was in ShopRite, red and yellow potatoes. You can even steam these in a bag, but I like to buy, and some people have asked me, can I use the red potatoes instead of the yellow? Yes, but buy the little ones because they cook faster. Now, I preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to cut these little baby potatoes in half because they cook faster that way. So I'll get these all cut in half, and like I say, there's a few red ones mixed in here. I don't think it matters at all. You can use yellow or you can use red, but just buy the little ones. And I love to use potatoes on my sheet pans. These are just so easy to make. You don't have a lot of pots and pans to clean up, no big messes, and it takes everything. These sheet pan dinners taste delicious. So let me get this done. All right. Now I also have fresh string beans, which I've already washed, and they're all ready. You're going to need a nice sized baking pan. I don't have the exact measurement in front of me. They're usually like 18 by, I don't know, 20 or something like that. Just a nice sized cookie sheet. All right, so the potatoes are all cut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the cookie sheet. Now you don't have to use parchment paper, but I use either parchment paper or I use aluminum foil. Just makes for much easier cleanup. So I'm going to put these on here. Alrighty, just single layer them for now. My hands are clean. Alright. Now I always cook my potatoes and my vegetables longer than I cook the meat because, oh, this one, how did I miss that? Because potatoes do take longer to cook, and you don't want your potatoes hard. And I don't like that side one either, that big red one they popped in there. Okay. Now here I have my green beans. I can hold them up for you, but you're not going to see them. They're going to flicker around because they're green, and I'm using a green screen. So I'm going to take my beans and put them on the sheet next to the potatoes. Now after I do that, what I'm going to do is I have some olive oil. Okay. Move this over so you can see what I'm doing. The salmon's going to sit on the side for now. And I'm going to take my olive oil sprayer and I'm going to spray a little bit on my potatoes and some on my green beans. And then I'm going to season them. Now you can use any seasoning that you prefer on your potatoes and your green beans. I'm going to salt them a little bit, not too much salt. See? I picked up this recently and I'm going to give it a try. I don't know, I'll let you know. It's Weber brand garlic parmesan seasoning. I thought it sounded pretty interesting. It has garlic salt in it and some Parmesan cheese, so I thought that might taste good on the potatoes. So I'm going to put some of that on there and also on my green beans. And then with my clean hands, and you can do this in the bowl if you want, but why have more to wash? Just toss them around so that they're all coated with the olive oil and the seasoning. Okay? Here you go. Now I'm going to pop these in my 400 degree oven for 20 minutes. because you want to give them a head start on your salmon, because the salmon doesn't take that long to cook. So I have them coated with olive oil, and I have one side of the pan with the potatoes, one side with the green beans that you probably can't see, but they probably look clear to you. For those of you that are not familiar with a green screen, it gives me the opportunity to make fun backgrounds and all, but you can never use green on a green screen. So if I had a green top on, it would look like I only had a head and no body. So anyway, these are ready. Let me give it one more squirt of oil. All right, let me pop these in the oven, and then I'll be back in 20 minutes. I'll take this out, and we'll go to step 2 to bake our salmon, so don't go away. Okay, I just took the potatoes and the green beans out of the oven. I poked a fork in the potatoes just to see if they were close to being done. They're still a little hard, but they're going to be in for a few more minutes while we cook the salmon. So at this time, you move everything over to the side because we need to make room for these 2 beautiful pieces of salmon. All right, I have my tongs here. Now, normally, I think if you were cooking salmon a different way, you would probably oil both sides, but I'm just going to oil the top because, there you go, turn it this way, because we already have some oil on the pan. So I'm going to make room for the 2 pieces of salmon fillets on there. Look at that. Oh, wow. Now, everybody likes to, I guess, season their salmon differently. I mean, I don't even know how to season salmon because I don't eat it. Remember what I said? I'm making this for you and my hubby and my son. So my son said, first we're going to squirt a little olive oil on the salmon fillets because it helps to keep your toppings on it and keeps it moist. Here we go, a little oil. Okay. Now, I'm going to put some fresh garlic on there. Now you can use garlic powder if you want, onion powder, but they like a little of the fresh garlic. So I have some fresh chopped garlic I'm going to sprinkle on there. Like I say, they even sell toppings. I've seen them in the stores and on Amazon, like spices for salmon. And I'm sure you have your own ways you like to do it. Some people don't put much on it at all. I think they just put on it, you know, maybe a little pepper, salt, whatever, but I'm going to make them happy. I'm putting a little fresh garlic on there. Now, my son said when he makes it, he likes to put some Mrs. Dash on there. Like I say, this is really up to you, but Mrs. Dash has a lot of different seasonings, so I'm going to just put a little on there. Okay. That should be good. And then, I gotta put a little paprika, because we want that salmon to have that nice, yummy, like reddish look to it. So I'll put a little bit of that, I'll sprinkle on. I want the boys to like this. And I'll be eating something else. What can I tell you? It's the same thing with lobster. When we go out for lobster, I order steak. And they tell me, just taste it, you'll like it. I'm sorry, I don't like it. All right, I think that's enough paprika. All right. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to return this to the oven for another 10 minutes. The salmon should be cooked in about 10 minutes. So let me put this back in the oven. I'll be back in 10 minutes to test it. Make sure it's flaky and done. And then, well, I'd like to say we're doing taste testing. I'll taste the green beans, and I'll taste the potatoes, and I'll let one of the guys taste the salmon, okay? So, be right back. Okay, I put this in the oven for 10 minutes. Took it out. You can check the salmon with a fork. If it flakes, it's done, and this is done. So, what I like to do is slice some fresh lemon, and look at that, put a nice piece of lemon on the top of each one. Oh, how beautiful. So as I told you, I'm going to taste one of the potatoes, see if they're done. And I'm going to taste some string beans. And then I'll let you know what the men think of the salmon. So let me see. Very good. For me, I like salt, so I'll put a little bit more salt on them. But use salt and pepper these as you like. We try the beans. Perfect. These are French style beans. All right, so I'm going to plate a piece of the salmon, some potatoes and the beans. I'm going to put it on the dining room table, and I'll let you know what the men think of the salmon. So hold on. Okay, as you can hear, Brownie is barking. What else is new? At the end of all my videos, she wants the food. Scott is tasting it now. What do you think, Scott?
Very good.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
All righty, let's move over here. Tim, do you like the salmon?
It reminds me of home.
What's home?
Boston.
So you both like it?
Sure.
Honey, what are you doing? You don't eat fish. Hey,
Yeah.
you don't eat fish, little girl. No fish for you. Say bye to everybody. Brownie. Brownie. See what we deal with every time I do a video. Toodles. Thank you everybody for watching. Love you all. Don't forget to subscribe. Brownie. Brownie. Tell them. Say, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. Bye.